but I will comment on their play. Like, I'm not going to say this person's a donk or this person's like an idiot or something, you know, because that's wrong. Like, it needs to be explained that players are simply, you know, if you're on a road and there's trees and things, you know, you've just got to get through them to the end, and you know, it's pretty weird sort of a analogy, but wow. So the Kings versus 6-8. We'll just look back and see how this play here played the Kings, because if someone's calling this 6-8, he just limps. There you go. So asking for trouble. I'm happy with the pot size here with pocket threes being out of position. I think I'll just call. So I'll make a note. This player limps with king. I think it was on the button. Yep. So he basically gave up his hand and let players like myself at ace-9 and 6-8 play. This is why I always sort of tell people to raise with their big hands, even hands like king-queen suited. This player's cut-off range I don't feel is any stronger than my button range, but plus I'm going to be in position the whole way. It just gives me that much more of an edge, even if he has ace-king. If a king doesn't hit the flop, I'm generally going to win the pot with the worse hand because I have position. And also, yeah, if he folds, I'll make a note. $0.15 in the cutoff is usually what I raise. I just keep my best standard and constant, so it's hard for players to put me on big hands or weak hands or pairs or okay. This is sort of a spot where do I just shove? Is my ace-queen suited good against his min-raising hand, considering he could possibly be on tilt? I think it is, so you know, if he has a big hand, then so be it, but I feel like that my ace-queen suited's pretty good shape, so, and it does fold, so I mean, I'd like to give credit to that player there, but being so short and min-raising when he could shove with a big hand, knowing I'll probably call anyway, yeah, just seemed weird. Ace-8, I will check here. Although there is a limper, I'm just out of position. I'd rather just see a flop. You can give this player credit for a hand like 6-7 or king 2, or it's just not profitable for me to call here, I don't feel. But on this table on the left here, table 1, I'm playing quite tight. A lot of the players here will probably pick up on that, but it's likely none of them will sort of really adjust their play. I mean, it's not because I've had a bad run of cards. I mean, it's only been 22 hands, so you can't expect to, you know, 5 of those or 6 of those hands to be premium ones to raise. Jack 2 suited to a raise in middle position. And here we have the player again min raising. If he took note, he'd probably shove here or raise. What? Yeah, didn't raise enough. That's just weird. Like, if you're gonna raise there, put him in. So you can see this player actually raise with his aces. 20-cent raise in middle position, so that player's protecting his hand, and he's stacked, more importantly. So around 15 minutes to go for the first 3 parts of the video. Most likely every video will be 3 parts each, and hopefully at least once a week I'll be putting a video up. Queen Jack is, as I said, a standard 15-cent raise at the cutoff. You know, it doesn't, you know, if you have Jack 10 suited or Jack 8, it's still pretty decent enough for a 15-cent raise there, and a lot of time you're going to win the pot uncontested, so there's no real need, I feel, to make it 20 cents. I just want to see where I'm at in this hand. 20 cents to call with 9-7 is generally good if you're in position, given the implied odds. Being out of position to someone who's playing pretty strong, you can see that he's made it 25 because of Olympus, so we're quickly out of there. I won't play 4-6 suited. Generally, sometimes I will, but I guess in another 5 or 10 hands, if obviously my image doesn't improve from very tight, and I'll start playing those sorts of hands, although people may not realise it. It's probably likely 1 or 2 will. But we can see this player is pretty short on this table, and he will fold a lot of the time. Queen 8 offsuit, probably not even worth a min raise there. I mean, these players are tight, but can't just keep doing it with such a huge range, because they will probably, especially Donkson, will catch on to it, play back, and we want him to play back at us, but we want him to play back at us when we have a pretty decent hand, like Queen Jack suited that plays well, or Jack 10 suited. It's pretty safe to say this player's got air. I just think, I mean, he'd probably fold here a lot of the time, but we could even be ahead of his range on the, so yeah, but I mean, I think a bet there, it's probably wins it a lot of the time, but I guess that's something I've also got to work on. So here we will play pocket 4s. We know what this sort of player's range is with the 20 cents, you know, pretty premium sort of a hand. We can definitely put an ace in his range. I think I'll just call, fold the turn. Yeah, it's pretty safe to say he has an ace. But I think a lot of the time folding on the flop just because there's an ace is to a pre-flop raiser is probably the wrong idea for me personally. I think a lot of the time you're still in pretty good shape on a flop like that, where it comes, ace 3-8. Yeah, he could have an ace, but a lot of the time, or more times, he won't than he will have paired. So 3-6 to a min.